to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Happy Monday to you. I am Philip Simon.
And good morning. I am Alana Major, filling in for Anastasia Palacios.
That's right. Star is doing her thing again. But Alana, we've been catching up all before the show started.
Oh, yeah. Lots
we got to do
catch up
better,
on.
man. I mean,
We
just
or
couldn't
you
stop
have
the
to
conversation,
do
Godfrey.
better. You have to do better.
Well, you know, you're right. You're probably right, man. But good to see you. Welcome back.
Good to see you too.
Welcome
Nice
back.
tie.
And thank you very
I mean,
much.
bright and spiffy.
I
Okay.
went all the way to the back of the, no, this one is actually in the front of the closet. I was being quite lazy this morning, but
That
thank you
looks
very
nice.
much. Thank you very much.
Never.
Yeah. How's it going?
Very good.
Yeah?
Very good.
What you been
It's
up
good
to?
be here. Nothing much. Taking it easy on the weekend. I did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of embarrassing, but I loved it.
Embarrassing. That sounds
Saturday,
like a
I-
weekend from heaven.
I went nowhere. I did nothing. I walked around the yard barefoot most of the time. I had a ball.
I did a
Hit
little.
dilly off the tree. You know?
You found dilly?
I have dillies on my tree.
Well, Godfrey, I don't understand. You knew you were coming here this morning. No dilly?
I
Come
will.
on, man.
I have to do better. I'll have
Oh,
to bring them,
boy.
and they sweet too.
And they sweet too. But listen, I hope you had a wonderful weekend as well. We're here to do it for you once again. I think the Nationals on the weekend
Great.
as well, the Nationals.
Okay.
Did SAC win that? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I thought I saw
Did
some stuff
SAC
that
went
said SAC.
QC, not SAC.
SAC.
QC,
I don't
okay.
think it's QC. You went to QC?
No. I went to St. John's College.
Oh, okay. All right.
The Giants.
Giants, okay. I understand.
You went where?
Kingsway.
Okay. What, you're
Saints.
called Saints.
The Saints.
There you go.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna finish that. But listen, we've got another great show lined up for you this
Yes.
morning. The Ministry of
Exciting
Health
week.
this year. They're talking cooking,
Okay.
cooking, health, etc. Some
Cooking healthy. That's
kind of
important.
shocking statistics. I was kind of really surprised by that, but looking forward to that interview. The Bahamas National Youth Choir is here to promote their upcoming concert as well. And I had an interesting conversation with Andrew Sarazan, Dr. Andrew Sarazan. He's a young global leader recognized by the World Economic Forum. We played that on Friday. We're going to play that again this morning for those persons who would have missed it. But
Yeah, we also have IRCA that's coming in. They're going to be talking about small-scale renewables.
Yeah.
And very excited to have Dr. Carlos Thomas, who's going to be talking about epilepsy.
Yeah.
It's very important to know about.
very important, actually.
Very important.
You know, my daughter kind of mentioned seeing that it happened in the school the other day. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
a really critical issue, not just for
Yeah.
the people and persons that it occurs with, but also those that surround.
When you want to know what to do and what to look
Yeah.
for, it's a very important topic.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But listen, we've got the G-Man in the
The
studio this morning.
G-Man.
It was really cool over the weekend, wasn't it?
It was, got some cool spots. So,
Yeah.
good looking to see what it's going to be like this week. So,
All right.
looking to hear from you.
Here's our first
Looking
look at
dapper,
weather
sir,
at
looking dapper.
sunrise with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Phil. Good morning, Bahamas. Hey, God, it's nice to have you in the share all the time. I see you make a difference in this place, okay? Good. But you should bring some of those dillies for Phil. He's a Foxhill guy, you know? Okay. In your first look at the weather, we do have that stationary frontal boundary across the southeastern islands, Meguane, Inagua, triggering some cloudy periods, and then to the west, we have a trough moving towards the northeast, and that will impact us by afternoon with some cloudiness and some showers, even a possible thunderstorm, particularly over the southeastern islands as that system moves towards the northwest. Any weather today, we're looking at variable cloudiness with a few showers, mainly across the northwest and central Bahamas and the southeast Bahamas. Your high temperature reaching 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, looking at partly cloudy skies with a few showers. Your low temperature going down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados, 81 and 75. In Jamaica, 80 and 67. Trinidad, 88 and 73. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 82 and 70. Across North America, Atlanta, 70 and 49. In Raleigh, 70 and 46. In Miami, 80 and 68. Dallas, Texas, 73 and 60. and Toronto, Canada, 36 and 23. Week coming up, we have a cold front. It should move through the Bahamas sometime on Wednesday morning. That again will cause some cloudiness. So through Wednesday into Thursday morning, we'll have some clouds around. The chances of showers around 30%. Then we have just a slight cool down. Yes, we did have some cool temperatures. As a matter of fact, on Saturday morning, temperature will go to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. This week, we're looking at 80s during the daytime and the mid to upper 60s during the nighttime. That puts wrapping your first look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. Of course, this was a little bit surprising for me this morning, where I read that the Bahamas ranks 6th in the world for obesity and has the highest overweight rate in the Caribbean and Latin America. Still trying to get over that, but good morning. We're very pleased to have the Ministry of Health with us this morning, launching a new cooking show called What You Cooking. Of course, you got to put that in the Bahamian vernacular. Very pleased to have Dr. Carmelta Barnes, Senior Health Nutritionist at the Ministry of Health. She is joined by the winners of the song competition. Some familiar faces here at Bahamas at Sunrise. We might have to change our name just to accommodate them, but we have some Queens College Comets in here, joined by their music coach, Mr. Colby. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Hi. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Dr. Barnes, we're going to start with you. Those statistics, I mean, they for real? For real, real?
Well, if you just take a look, they are for real. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
You know, it is said that we're eating ourselves to death.
Wow.
As it relates to the NCDs in the Bahamas. People are just, you know, getting sick.
Okay.
And people are dying from what they're eating. So the Ministry of Health decided we're going to do something about it.
Okay.
And we launched a preventive measure, which is the What You Cooking show.
Yes.
And our intentions with that, of course, that show was envisioned by our Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands. And the intention of the show is to show people a better way of choosing foods, of preparing foods, of adding more diversity to their foods. I'm not eating the same things every day. And why that is important is because the more diverse you are, the more likely you will get more of the essential nutrients that your body needs.
Yeah. And I would imagine that obviously there's a youth infusion in the show.
Yes.
As well. But will it have like local recipes and local, you know?
Yes, yes. What we're doing is we're taking what people eat already and we're changing it up a little bit, adding some new spices, adding some new ingredients, and adding some more variety of foods. For example, your vegetables and your fruits, what you can do with those, how you can use fruits as dessert instead of having the fatty, high sugar types of desserts. So we're just taking what you know already and then putting a different twist to it.
Of course, and I would imagine we also have some chefs that we are familiar with. Or will we also have high school chefs as well?
Yeah, well, we have adult chefs that's going to be, and we have some persons that just like to cook that's also going to be on the show as well.
When does the show start? When does it air?
The show is well, we're planning to air at April, in the second week of April.
All right. And which stations can we find the show on?
Well, we're looking at various platforms. We haven't identified specific platforms as yet, but various different, including YouTube and social media and different types of things like that.
All right, so you guys had a song competition, you know, started this with a bang, and we're joined this morning by the winners of that song. How many schools participated in that?
We had about 4 schools that participated, and of course this is our winning team with that very catchy What You Cooking song that we all love so much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mr. Colby, so you're back on Bahamas at Sunrise with the crew. What was the process for this particular competition versus the other big one we saw you on just a couple of weeks?
Well, the process was, well, it started off, we got the communication from the Ministry of Health that they wanted to do the song competition. They kind of told us what it was about. At the time, we were really busy with a lot of stuff going on, so I was like, boy, I'm not sure if we could kind of take this on. But I really thought the initiative was a good one, and that's something that would have been a nice challenge for our kids to kind of be a part of. So we just kind of took it on with no real expectations. But it just turned out great, man. I mean, we came up with the song, and when the kids went to record and they were in the studio, it just we just knew it was a hit.
You knew it was a hit.
Know,
Right.
you hear it back and it's like,
Who
yeah,
wrote it?
this,
Who wrote
they
the
sound
words?
good.
Who wrote the
Well,
words?
we all wrote
Oh,
it together.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Great.
And we worked with along with, I think they assigned us with a mentor, Sammy Poitier.
Okay.
We worked
All
along
right.
with him, so he was a big help to us, and he was a big part of putting this whole thing together for us and with us. So it was a great experience for the kids. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're looking forward to the results. But just before they sing, just introduce yourselves once again.
Hi, I'm Amberlane Miller. I am in the 11th grade at Queen's College.
Okay.
Good day, I'm Joshua Ferguson. I'm also in the 11th grade at Queen's College.
Good morning, I'm Jazia Curtis. I'm also in the 11th grade at Queen's College.
All right, I remember that little dynamo. Listen, What You Cooking This Morning by QC, the winners of the song competition for the Ministry of Health. What You Cooking?
Let's go.
All across the country, we eating some bad food that causes us to not live long.
What? You serious?
Now we pick the bread basket so we could eat good and grow big and strong.
That's right.
Don't give me no fried chicken and fries. Give me some baked salmon tonight.
Yeah.
That kind of food will make me feel right.
That's right.
We want some good vegetables. We want some juicy fruit. Give me some fresh fruit to start off my day.
Hey.
What you could get? Something good. I want something to eat that's healthy for me. What you could get? Something good. I want something to eat that's healthy for me. Healthy for me.
But you gotta make a better choice. Better choice. So eat tomato and broccoli, carrots and celery, and add in some activity. Oh, yeah.
What you could get? Something good. I want something to eat that's healthy for me. What you could get? Something good. I want something to eat that's healthy for me. Healthy for me. Choose foods that will add value to your life. Hey. Choose foods that will add value to your life. Hey. What you could get? Something good. I want something to eat that's healthy for me. What you could get? Something good. I want something to eat that's healthy for me. Healthy for me. Choose foods that will add value to your life. Hey. Choose foods that will add value to your life. Hey. What you could get? Something good.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want First Response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First Response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire.
You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here.
Are you telling you he's being all type of shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else?
Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Welcome back. The Bahamas National Youth Choir will be hosting its 29th annual concert season, starting April 10th to the 13th at the Dundas Theater. And here with us this morning is Miss Lindy Bowe, soprano and secretary, Vernal Adderley, tenor and choreographer, and Mr. Dexter Fernando, the director. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you for having us.
Always a pleasure. Yeah. So this is the 29th concert season. So does that mean you're 29 years old?
Actually, we're 36 years old.
Okay.
This is a consecutive concert season. So this is our 29th concert season at the same place, the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts.
At the infamous Dundas. 29, you look good for 29. Yes. Looking good. So what can we expect? Because we look forward to the season every year. So what can we expect this season?
This year is out of the box concept. I placed it in the hands of the young people in terms of even the understanding of the interpretation of the music. We have our basic classical section. We go into our Broadway section. This year we're celebrating Stevie Wonder. So we're doing a tribute to Stevie Wonder, and then we go into our folk section. In our folk section we have international folk and then Bahamian folk. Some people just think of John Canoe for Bahamian, but we've got the rake and scrape, all of the rhythms. And so this year we decided to look at a tribute for the T connection. And everyone knows that back then they were almost compared to the Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yes, they
so
were.
we wanted to just augment what they are and to show that there's more to Bahamian music than just the stereotypical what you think Bahamian music should be.
Well, that is a nice thing because you still have classical.
Yes.
Stevie Wonder and then T Connection.
The T Connection.
Oh man, this is going to be good. So with that, all of that excitement, are there going to be any guest artists? Are there going to be any surprises? Something we should look forward to?
Yes. So this
Spill
year,
the beans just a little bit.
Well, we want people to be surprised.
Okay.
This is our major fundraiser. So we were asking for Bahamians to come in. This is what helps to support the programs of the choir.
Sure.
The guest artist this year is a wonderful Cameron Pratt. He's a violinist. And then we have a star. She's only 9 years old, Sophia Marsh.
Nice.
She's preparing for Broadway. She is preparing for Broadway, and she's going to show you what it is. She's doing something from Matilda, so we're glad to have her this year.
And at 9 years old?
At 9 years old.
She's starting early?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be looking out for that. So tell me a little bit. You're a soprano and you're a tenor. I can barely hold alto properly. So what is it like singing with the National Youth Choir?
Singing with the choir is an amazing experience. You get to meet so many different people. You get to travel very often. Well, travel is always based on our fundraising activities, which is why it's very important that everyone comes out to the concert.
And support, 10th to the 13th, of course.
But it's awesome.
And what is it like for you?
For me, it's a growth experience. It allows you to tap more into your talent and to expand your knowledge of music and singing.
Okay. Would you encourage other young people to get involved? And if you had a chance right now to look into the camera and speak to a young person and say why they should, what would you say to them?
Definitely you should audition to join the National Youth Choir. It is a life-changing experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And if you do get the chance to become a member, you are a part of our family for life.
Yes. I do believe that. You must have your own alumni association going somewhere. So dates and times of the concert. I know 10th to the 13th, what time are the concerts going to be held? And
Certainly. 10 to 13, we open up the gala night. Tickets are available at the Turnquist. We are thankful for the Turnquist & Co. They help to support our gala night. The gala night really helps us with the curriculum of the choir.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people are going off to school, and in order, sometimes when they want Bahamian music for their auditions, that's the music that they get. They get our music.
Okay.
And so we are a resource for other Bahamians who are doing music
see,
abroad.
that's important. I don't think many people
No,
knew that.
people just see it as the choir, but
Right.
there's, when you're looking for history. But we have the 10th through the 13th is at the Dundas Center. You can call the Dundas. The tickets are $25 for the regular nights. The gala night is $60. And then we have this year 2 student matinees. So our corporate sponsorship, appreciative for their assistance, they help to defray the cost for the student matinees. They're not just performance, but an educational field trip for the students.
So the gala night is 60.
60.
Regular tickets are 25, and then you still also have a student matinee.
Student matinee on
And
Thursday and
which night
Friday.
is the gala night?
Gala night is that Wednesday the 10th. We
It's
start
on
off
the
with
10th.
the gala night.
Okay. And where can we find tickets?
You can find tickets at the Dundas.
Okay.
You can call them at 393-3728. Or you can contact any member of the choir to purchase tickets, and we will make ourselves available.
Test you again. Tell me that number again.
393-3728.
Oh, fine. Okay.
You can also message us on Facebook or Instagram.
That's
We're
important.
on all social media platforms. Follow us.
So we could just look up Bahamas National
Yes.
Youth Choir, and we should be able to find you on social
Yes.
media. All right, all right. So one final question then. Are you taking a trip this year? And if so, where are you going? And if so, can I come along?
We will post, like I said, the program is dependent on what we raise during this concert season.
Okay.
We're trying to go to the United Kingdom. We are going to be the guest of the High Commissioner, Green Slade, there. And we're looking for the support of the Bahamians, please. People think of it just being Nassau-centric, but we're extending to all the Family Islands because we represent the Bahamas.
Of course.
So the corporate Bahamas that are in the Family Islands and wish to assist, you can also Instagram us or email us. The phone number 433-4677. Call us. If they're really interested, we have people flying to Miami for Jazz in the Garden. Why don't you fly from Nassau, from the island to Nassau for a weekend and come and see the show, those in Freeport? We really want to appreciate the arts and what we have to offer for Bahamians for a weekend.
That is a wonderful idea. I like that. Why not travel here for the concert? That's perfect. Yeah. Well, it's wonderful having you all with us. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
And wishing you all the best for the season. I hope the concerts go well so that you all could go off to the United Kingdom this year.
Yes.
All the best. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
WTO memberships will bring benefits to the Bahamas. These benefits include increased economic growth and development, increased opportunities for Bahamian exports, higher employment, better income for Bahamian workers, lower cost of living for Bahamian consumers, increased choices for Bahamian consumers, modernization in government services, and better relations with trade partners. These benefits, combined with progressive planning and execution by our private and public sectors, will produce a better life for Bahamians.
I always wanted to come back to the College of Bahamas. I wanted to be a faculty. When the opportunity came for me to be Vice President of Operations, I said, well, let me try that first. It makes me proud because I was here before. I feel as if now I'm sort of like a beacon for those students who are here to say, hey, listen, I can actually be a Vice President. I can actually be one of the big leaders at the university. I'm Ronnie Stevenson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
So who really own the Nassau Container Port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you. I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Eagle Electric and Lighting has 16 weeks of giveaway, including the grand prize, a Chevy Silverado pickup truck. Now, until June 28th, make a minimum purchase of $20 and be eligible to enter our weekly drawing. Win items like toaster ovens, microwaves, snorkel gear, $500 gift cards, and much more. Buy any 2 lamps and qualify for double entry. 16 weeks of giveaway, including the Chevy Silverado pickup truck. That's Eagle Electric. Best quality, best price. Guaranteed.
Welcome back to the show. This year's Cohort of Global Young Leaders, selected by the World Economic Forum, is a dynamic community of a who's who of under the age of 40. We're very, very pleased to be joined this morning by our next guest. He is the president of Templeton World Charity Foundation, Dr. Andrew Sarrazin. Did I say that right?
You got it, Philip.
Good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Last year around this time, I think we were talking 1, 2, 3, math.
That's right, yeah. And something even more complicated than that. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But listen, you are being noted as a leading change agent, a change maker by the World Economic Forum. What does that mean?
Well, I think the World Economic Forum is the international organization for public-private partnership, and in simple language, that means people that are just interested in getting stuff done. And whether that's business leaders or academics or nonprofit leaders, just people that wanted to make a positive difference in the world.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, this is really a significant, I think, selection, not just for you and Templeton, but also for the Caribbean. I believe you're the only person who has been selected from the Caribbean out of about 100 or so worldwide, and thousands, of course, who would have been nominated. I mean, that is truly impressive.
Well, it's a great honor to represent this region. It's a region that our founder, Sir John Templeton, called his home since 1965 until his passing in 2009. And so I see this as a testament to the people of the Bahamas and to what being an island nation is all about, and what we can then teach the world about how to live. And so it's a great honor to be nominated and selected, and also represent what I think is a unique place here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we talk about Sir John, of course, he's got tremendous legacy in the Bahamas in so many different areas, whether it's YPO or junior achievement, but certainly when we talk about science and spiritual progress and technology and innovation, you know, these are the things that really combined to and the foundation really of what you do with the Templeton World Charity Foundation. Just elaborate a little bit on your work.
Sure. So our mission statement is that we fund scientific breakthroughs and practical tools for the human search for meaning, purpose, and truth. And so we're trying to apply scientific research and knowledge towards these really important questions about what it means to be human.
Right.
What's our purpose? How do we generate meaning in life? A good example is our Laws of Life program here in the Bahamas, which we ask young students to write an essay on a law, whether that's gratitude or forgiveness or humility, and the importance of these social relationships. And all of that's inspired by an understanding of spirituality and the importance of human purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a wonderful program. You are around the world. I mean, obviously you spoke about what you do here in the Bahamas, but I believe in your 45 plus countries and several hundred projects around the world.
That's right. Yeah. So over 200 projects in 45 countries. We just have a new program that we're launching on Saturday, announcing the first awards on global character. So the science of building character strengths around the world, and that's something that we have projects in Honduras, in Sri Lanka, in Kenya, in Barbados, and so we are a global foundation. We're located, headquartered right here.
Absolutely, in beautiful Bahamas, of course. So the initiative of the World Economic Forum's Dynamic Global Leaders Program is a 5-year program.
That's right.
What are you expecting over these next several years?
Yeah, I'm really expecting to meet a cohort of people who have the interest and the influence to change the world in a positive way, and more specifically, you know, my mission within this, I think what we represent and what I represent is a kind of vision for the future that just doesn't focus on material progress.
Right.
What we are about is spiritual progress, the progress of the human spirit, the progress of trying to find meaning and purpose. So I think we find that there are some limits to economic progress, in the sense that just because you earn a certain amount of money doesn't mean you're happy, doesn't mean that you're fulfilled. And what we try and do is find the world's best minds to produce really good research and really good practical interventions to help people do that. So that's what I think is unique about our mission. It's, I think, a unique voice in the World Economic Forum, which as part of its name is focus on economics and business. But I think even businesses are increasingly recognizing that human relationships and relationships in general are really central to progress, and that's what we represent.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it speaks to the bottom line of who we are. I mean, obviously, whether you're talking economics, whether you're talking politics, whether you're talking society, at the core of all of that is human interaction.
That's right.
And I think it's a wonderful selection that somebody like you, and of course representing Templeton, will now be a part of that global interface for change. As you say, improving the state of the world is one of their missions, and of course through philanthropy, you've been quite successful in doing this. Have you had an opportunity to review and kind of meet some of the persons for this year?
Not yet, actually.
Okay.
Just I know some former young global leaders.
Okay.
I'll be going on tomorrow to meet with. Have an introductory orientation session. So, but they're business leaders, they're political leaders, they are scholars of one kind, or nonprofit leaders.
Yeah.
So along a whole different range of interests, and they are all just committed to using their talents and gifts in a positive way.
Definitely a broad range of persons from all over the world, as we mentioned earlier. We'll kind of end on this note because Sir John is looking over us right now. But when we talk about philanthropy, which is really kind of at the core of the service that you provide and the mission and the type of person that he was, what role do you think that philanthropy plays in the overall scheme of things globally?
Well, I think it plays an amazing role. I mean, philanthropy literally means love of humans.
Okay.
And so it sometimes there's a lack of clarity about what that really means. But fundamentally, it's about love of people. And so this mission to recognize the importance of human relationships, of our relationships with ourselves, our relationships with God. These kinds of human relationships are essential, and at the heart of every person is also love. And so I think philanthropy can play a huge role because it's not encumbered by short-term business cycles or political cycles. It's really the only institution that is kind of free in truly to think about the long term, and that's how Sir John made his career so successful, is because he thought in 100-year terms, and that's what he challenged us to do in philanthropy and in our work, is to think about really what matters over the long term and try and get there. So number one, philanthropy is free to choose its own course, and it's also free to work with whoever is aligned, has good alignment with its goals. So I think there's a kind of semi-permeable boundary between philanthropy, business, government that can work together to solve problems, and each using its own skills and resources and own role to achieve change. And so that's true everywhere in the world. It's true in the Bahamas, and we're just thrilled to be a part of that.
Well, certainly we're thrilled to have you here. Doing a tremendous work as president of the Templeton World Charity Foundation, and of course now recognized as a young global leader. Of course, we knew that a long time ago. Congratulations, Andrew.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
WTO memberships will bring benefits to the Bahamas. These benefits include increased economic growth and development, increased opportunities for Bahamian exports, higher employment, better income for Bahamian workers, lower cost of living for Bahamian consumers, increased choices for Bahamian consumers, modernization in government services, and better relations with trade partners. These benefits, combined with progressive planning and execution by our private and public sectors, will produce a better life for Bahamians.
My name is Regilio Bethel. My position on board Equinox is mate relief captain. I must say that during our travels and journeys throughout the Exuma Keys, we've had a few dark or dead spots. Basically, there was no service. They were just dark spots. We would basically be dead ship out in the cold without any communication. And it's been like that for years, and we've gotten used to it. But life has now provided us with a service which we can stay communicated during our entire voyages. And I've been waiting for Life to bring their service up to full more coverage throughout the Bahamas, which they've done in an amazing amount of time. So yeah, I would encourage them all to get that service. It's an awesome service, no interruptions, and it's awesome.
Welcome back to the show. We're at the midway point of a Monday morning edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. We're so very pleased that you took the time to join us.
Yes, good morning. We have a wonderful show so far.
It's been a singing kind of show this morning.
It's
here
been
in
a
Bahamas at
singing
Sunrise.
kind of show. I had the Bahamas National Youth Choir with me.
Yeah.
They're having their concert series. Please, if you have not gone out and shared this experience already, April 10th to the 13th at the Dundas.
Yeah, this was it 29 years?
29th concert season. They're
29th
actually
concert
36
season.
or 37, somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know they've been around for a long time, and they've always been excellent.
Yes,
Always been
yes,
excellent.
yes.
And that legacy
World
continues.
class.
That legacy
World
continues,
class,
yeah.
yeah.
I see Queen's College is also establishing a model of excellence in terms of singing and sports and academics. And but the students, I mean, this morning are very impressive. I love the song, What You Cooking?
What You Cooking?
It's a healthy
very
message.
Catchy.
Yeah, very catchy.
Very catchy. Can you cook, Phil?
Yeah, I can.
Do you cook, Phil?
Do I cook?
Do you
Do
cook,
I
Phil?
cook? Do I cook? Not very often at all. Not very often at all.
I must say, wives love husbands that can cook. So it'll be good if you cook often.
Yeah. So
My husband can cook.
Yeah, we've got more to come on the show this morning. Dr. Thomas will be here to talk about epilepsy in the
You
Bahamas.
can't even talk anymore. Yes, and IRCA is still coming up as well. They're going to be talking about their small-scale renewables this morning. Yeah. You okay?
I'm good. I'm
You're
good. I'm
starting to
good.
sweat a little.
So listen, we're going to continue here this morning. We're going to turn it over to Matt, who does cook.
Yeah, who does cook. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and
Godfrey Burnside, tell us about that turkey sauce. I know you have that recipe, Godfrey.
He's going to tell us about the second look with weather at sunrise.
Oh, not the turkey sauce. I'm sorry. That's later.
Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Phil. Good morning, Bahamas. In a second look at weather at Sunrise. Satellite picture shows that we do have a stationary forming boundary across the Nago, Megowan, Crooked Island. That's producing cloudiness. We have a trough to the west of the islands that's moving towards the northwest, and that will create some cloudiness over northwest Bahamas later this morning into tomorrow. Then we have a cold front that should move in here sometime on Wednesday. Will not change temperature much over the next several days. In your marine forecast, winds today east of the 10 to 15 knot seas, 2 to 4 feet of northwest Bahamas, 15 to 20 knot seas, 4 to 6 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Then on Tuesday, have that frontal boundary. Those winds become southwesterly at 10 to 15 knots seas, 2 to 4 feet of northwest Bahamas, southeast at 15 knots seas, 3 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Then on Wednesday, those winds become northerly at 10 to 15 knots seas, 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, variable at 10 knots or less seas, less than 3 feet over the southeastern islands. Yeah, tides. You can expect a high tide at 4 minutes past 11 this morning. Net low tide will be at 5:15 this evening. High gain tonight at 11:36. Sunset will be at 7:21 this evening rises about 708, UV index 7, your water temperature 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and your moon phase now moving towards the last quarter. Your external look, expect the clouds to hang around for another couple of days as that cold front moves into the area. Though temperature daytime will be around 80-degree mark, at nighttime in the mid to upper 60s. That puts you up on your phone. Look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Alana.
Thank you, Godfrey. Epilepsy is a common neurological condition characterized by recurrent seizures, and it affects people of all ages. What does epilepsy look like in children? Well, here to give us a better understanding of that is Dr. Carlos Thomas, pediatrician of Dr. Carlos Thomas and Pediatric Associates, and Lacey Heiler, St. Anne's student and epilepsy patient. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Lana. It's great to be here.
Dr. Thomas, tell me a little bit about epilepsy. What exactly is it?
Yeah, you said in your opening statement, epilepsy is a chronic neurological disorder characterized by seizures. There are lots of myths out there. Many people think seizures only involve movements, violent shaking, but they don't all involve movements. Some of them just involve change in your neurological status. So for example, there's a type of seizure called petit mal seizure or absence seizure, where your patient is speaking to you and they suddenly stare and they're blank for a few seconds. Then they continue their conversation. And so seizures can be very subtle, can involve unusual movements, and they can last a few seconds. So quite often they're missed.
Okay. So when is a person normally diagnosed with epilepsy? Is this something that happens when they're very young? Is this usually occurs later on? When does this occur? We
see epilepsy in young children, adults. So your first seizure can happen at any time throughout your life. But epilepsy is a chronic condition with recurrent seizures. And it's diagnosed using not just the history of the patient, but also your EEG, electroencephalogram, which is a test that can show seizures even when you're not actively having a seizure.
Are there particular calling cards or things that you would look out for when it comes to identifying that a child has epilepsy?
Yes, a child who's doing poorly in school, who's teachers think they're daydreaming all the time, quite often might be having seizures. And that's where your pediatrician and your neurologist can assist you with the diagnosis.
Okay. So hi, Lacey. Do you know how old you were when you had your first seizure? How old were you? 4. You were 4 years old. That's pretty young, wasn't it? How do you deal with having or feeling about seizures when it comes to school?
Sad.
It makes you feel sad? How do your teachers and your classmates work along with you?
I don't know.
You don't know? You're not sure? When it comes to dealing with your patients that are younger, what recommendations do you give to parents and also to the children, the students themselves when it comes to, pardon me? Go ahead. Medicine.
She said medicine.
Yes, the medicine helps you, right? That's very good. And Dr. Thomas makes sure you get good medicine, I'm sure.
Well, Lacey is very shy this morning, but she's an extraordinary young lady. She's 9 years old in 5th grade, and she's very much involved in trying to get the Bahamas on the map as far as World Epilepsy Day.
Yes.
So World Epilepsy Day is celebrated on the 26th of March, that's tomorrow, each year, and purple is the color, which is why I'm wearing my purple today.
Ribbon.
And she wants to bring awareness about seizures and epilepsy.
I see your purple ribbon too. Very nice.
So she's very much involved in setting up for the cause, and she's going to be doing that tomorrow at her school.
Okay.
And St. Anne's School, I must say, does a fantastic job in encouraging their students to become civic-minded and philanthropists. I'm very proud of her.
Yes, that's very good. Congratulations, Lacey.
Thank you.
Are you excited about tomorrow and selling your ribbons? How much are your ribbons? What do they cost?
$5.
$5?
$5.
$5 for your purple ribbon. So you're encouraging everyone to wear their purple ribbon tomorrow for World Epilepsy Day, right? Very good. So can a person with epilepsy have a normal or relatively normal life?
Absolutely, yes. So your doctor can place your medications, and there's another myth that these medications make you sleepy or you can't function. And so with the proper tweaking of the medicines, you can have a normal life. There's some uncertainty involved, of course, because you never know when your next seizure will be. But if you follow your doctor's instructions, you're going to be pretty comfortable. And so people are working and living productive lives with seizures. And children are having wonderful experiences at school.
Okay. Are there any triggers for seizures that you would make sure to say to the children, to the students, the parents, for them to avoid?
Well, let's start with the younger age group. Febrile convulsions, not epilepsy, but it's fairly common among young children between the ages of 6 months and 5 years. If they have elevated temperatures and it's not properly monitored, they can have a convulsion.
Okay.
So any abnormal behavior, any abnormal activity involving movements, staring, ought to be evaluated by a pediatrician.
Okay. Is that some of the reasons why they even say to you in certain movie theaters, they tell you to be careful because of the screen, things like that? Are
Yes,
those triggers as
there's
well?
some patients who have seizures where glittering lights, if you went to a disco, movies and games that require close attention and can potentially cause a seizure.
Okay. Okay. So purple tomorrow, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything?
I have my shirt.
You have your shirt, so you're all ready to go. Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
Very
What else you're saying?
I'm excited too. I'm going to make sure that I buy a purple ribbon as well. You're going to sell me one?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I will wear it very proudly.
What are you saying?
Pardon?
What are you saying?
Yes, I'm excited. I'll be wearing my ribbon tomorrow.
No, what were you saying first?
What was I saying first?
About your purple ribbon tomorrow. So Lacey, we're very proud of you.
I told you about my purple shirt.
You wear your purple shirt tomorrow. Okay.
But what I told you about it? What were you saying?
No, I was saying I'm happy that you're going to be wearing it and you'll be selling your ribbons tomorrow.
Oh.
That's very good. You're to be complimented.
That's what you were trying to say. I didn't know what you
Dr.
were
Thomas,
saying, how you said it. I didn't know how you were saying.
That's quite all right there. That is quite all
Lacey,
right.
thank you so very much for waking up so early and coming on the show with us. We're very proud of you and keep up the good works, okay,
But what about to say today?
Thank you so much.
Something too that I know.
That you know? Okay,
Tell
so we'll
us.
make sure and we'll talk about it some more afterwards. Dr. Thomas,
Yeah.
we really appreciate you coming on this
Been my
morning
pleasure.
and telling us more about epilepsy. We look forward to you coming again sometime soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you, Lacey. We appreciate you.
I'm going to tell you something too.
Okay, so hold that secret and you'll tell me in just a second, okay? We'll be right back.
Hi, and welcome to Kidney Health. The topic for today is fluid and salt control. Patients with chronic kidney disease and those on dialysis are all referred to a dietitian who specializes in diets and overall nutritional management for patients with kidney disease. One area of focus is fluid and fluid control. Normal kidneys help control the amount of fluid that leaves your body. As kidney disease progresses, or as the kidneys fail, they are no longer able to regulate the removal of fluid from your body, and as a result, you will need to restrict how much fluid you take in every day. Too much fluid can cause swelling of the eyes, hands and or ankles, and shortness of breath as a result of fluid accumulating in the lungs called pulmonary edema. Too much fluid can also increase blood pressure. Your dietitian will review fluids with you and the amount you are allowed to take in daily. Salt is another important mineral that you will need to limit as a dialysis patient, because the more salt you take in, the more thirstier you will be, and this will cause you to drink more. Like other nutrients, sodium or salt is needed by the body for many functions, such as controlling muscle contractions, balancing fluids, and controlling blood pressure. However, when the kidneys are damaged, salt is no longer handled properly, and this leads to increased blood pressure and fluid retention. Patients on dialysis should therefore aim to lower their salt intake and learn about foods that are high in salt. Your dietitian, along with your healthcare team, will assist you not only in eating well and managing your fluids, but living well on dialysis. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more you know, the better you will feel.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. ERCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, plans to focus on the growing number of small-scale renewable generation systems installed at homes and businesses throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Here to tell us more about that is the CEO of ERCA, Stephen Barreau, and the Director of Utilities and Energy, Siobhan Cambridge. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning to you and your listeners.
Good morning. You guys have been making the rounds. I think it's a really good thing that ERCA is doing here relative to this particular topic. But is creating sustainable energy opportunities a part of the national energy policy?
Absolutely. The national energy policy calls for the introduction of renewable energy into the grid. It recognizes and proposes, it recognizes the importance of renewables to the Bahamas' sustainable future, and proposes a target of 30% renewables on the energy mix in the country by 2030. So the small-scale renewable generation program is just a small part of that initiative.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about those numbers. You say 30% by 2030. Siobhan, where are we now in terms of achieving that goal? Are we like right at the beginning?
We're very much at the beginning. Okay. I think we're scraping around 1% right now. Okay. What we have as registered online systems is just a little bit over 2 megawatts, and we have applications that are being processed now that will bring it up to about 4 megawatts in the very near future.
So literally, if we were to kind of increase that by 1% per annum, we would probably achieve those goals.
Well, I think we need a bit more than 1% per annum, but you know, as you start, 2% per annum approximately would be what we'd need at least. But because of course demand also will change over the period.
Right,
and this is really where we have a layered strategy really for how do you get to that target and beyond. I mean, you know, 30% was set maybe, I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago. The policy was designed. So maybe our target should, you know, as we go through the next 12, 13 years, maybe we'll be looking at more aggressive targets. But there's a number of factors. Firstly, obviously, it's being efficient. So generally, we would expect demand growth over the next 15 years. But what efficiencies can we achieve both in the home and in businesses and the country as a whole that might help us to make the target a little easier to get to? And then obviously the small-scale renewable program, which we're promoting right now, that's as far as we've been able to get. But a key part of reaching the target is actually moving to larger systems, which we hope to be able to do with the cooperation of the major utility providers over the next few years.
Well, before we get to that, let's quantify what we mean by small scale. I mean, we're talking about businesses and homes, so this isn't, you know, solar farms that we're talking about.
Okay, the small-scale program basically allows for small residential homes and small businesses, and it's capped out right now at about 100 kW system. When you start talking about the larger scale stuff, once you go above 1 megawatt is what we would consider utility scale based on the size of the networks or the grids throughout the Bahamas. And then in between that 100 and 1,000 is another area that we're carving out that's going to be dealing more with just primarily for self-generation purposes.
Are consumers ready for this? I mean, you talk about this pent-up demand for the 4 megawatt. Are we ready for this in terms of the technology, in terms of the demand? Obviously, in terms of mindset, everybody wants a lower cost of energy production and consumption.
Well, I think there is a lot of readiness for it. There are a number of issues that we still have to grapple with to make it easier. Firstly, the small-scale program that we have in place is about self-generation. So I think, and it provides some very strong incentives for persons who buy systems that are primarily designed to provide your own energy, thereby bringing down your overall costs of energy. Secondly, one of the other issues that comes up, the cost of solar panels, of solar systems has decreased significantly over the last few years. Financing of the system is still obviously an issue, and that's another area where we hope to be able to make more of an impact by making it so understood how significant the financial gains are that that banks and other institutions would be prepared to finance these programs.
Does this tie into what BPL is doing in terms of, well, obviously they're going in a slightly different direction, but they have spoken about, you know, renewable energies, particularly in the push in the Family Island, same as you.
Well, the small-scale renewable program is actually done, it's a ERCA regulatory measure done in conjunction with BPL. Okay. So BPL is involved in the process, particularly for homeowners. Okay. You start the process at BPL because what is key about it? You generate for yourself, but then you're able to sell any excess energy to the grid. Right. And for that to work, BPL must be involved in the process. Yeah.
So what is the application process for anybody that's interested in applying for this? Okay,
well, the application process right now is that if you're a residential consumer, you would apply directly through BPL. Okay. And the commercial consumers put their applications in through IRCA. Okay. And both organizations have those forms available on their websites or at their offices. You can go in and just have a licensed electrician fill out the forms for you, and we go through the processing and vetting process.
Yeah, I saw yesterday somebody parked along the western Bay Street, and I guess it was one of the electric cars, and he had some solar panels literally tied into that. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I guess he ran a little low on power and just pulled out a little solar. Is there a plan for a IRCA's own type of like solar car park?
Well, absolutely. You know, as we do believe that that we want to show proof of concept in our own space. So IRCA as an organization will shortly be putting out a request for proposals. We have a car park, open car park downtown. So we plan to install solar panels above the car park, and we also plan in the IRCA fleet to go electric as well. Right. So have our own charging station and so on.
But funny you should mention that too, Phil. I mean, I was reading something recently where Ford is basically saying by the year 2025, all the offerings will be electric vehicles. Wow. So that is the way the world is going. Yeah. So whether we like it or not, we're going to be pulled that way.
Yeah, well, definitely. IRCA is leading by example. Very pleased to have Stephen Breaux, CEO of IRCA, Director of Utilities and Energy, Siobhan Cambridge. Gents, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Since 1967, Focal has been a vital part of the Grand Bahama community, providing high-quality products and great customer service. Today, we continue to work hard and remain focused on fueling growth for people throughout the Bahamas.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev, you and us together.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. Alana, so good to see you. Always great to have you
here.
Sitting in this chair. Going to be back?
Of course, whenever you're ready.
All right. Listen, you guys have a wonderful week.
Have a wonderful, blessed week. Be productive. Have a good one.